Hey everybody, how's it going? Take two. Um, I'm here with Lawrence and Phoebe from Nanjing Marketing Group, and we're going to talk about the trends coming out of China this week. In this podcast, we help people make money in China. We'll help you understand the trends in Chinese culture, technology, and business. Why should you listen to us? Well, I've spent a quarter of my life in China, and I've been doing business there since 2003, so I know a few things about how things work there. Um, in this podcast, I talk to Lawrence usually, but sometimes other friends, other people from Nanjing Marketing Group. We just talk about the newest developments from China that I think will affect business or things that I just think are fun. Now, the things we're going to talk about today are first, after school tutoring might be banned in China. Also, Baidu's released some new requirements for their landing pages. You're going to have to use Baidu's own tool for creating landing pages for a lot of the accounts that are run on Baidu. Also, we'll talk about Bitcoin mining in China and the carbon emissions from it, Tesla's increase in sales, bubble tea drinkers getting mad about a plastic ban, Xiaomi CEO's response to Xiaomi's new logo, and then finally, we're going to talk about China's livestream sales king who came back and sold 300 million US dollars worth of products in 12 hours.
Yep.
All right, let's get started here. The first one we're looking at is this article from pandaily.com about the tutoring industry. And what it says is that on March 10th, a mandate from Beijing declared off-campus lessons remain suspended. They were initially stopped due to the COVID-19 outbreak until further notice. So I'm not sure exactly what that means. Do you know what it means, Lawrence? What is off-campus lessons? Is that any kind of tutoring or instruction that's going on outside of the regular courses that students attend?
There actually are a lot of tutorial that the students need to attend after school. They are not mandatory. One certain subject like Chinese, English, then they will just join after school tutorial. And then besides all that, the parents always tend to ask their children to join a certain hobby classes, like playing the pianos, playing the violin, or just a training classes, etc. And that just takes a lot of money to do it, and as well as the parents need to take care of the child, and that just leave the children never restless, so they never get a good rest. And that is why I think that the Chinese government is trying to grade the tutorial industry. They don't want the kids to be so tired.
Yeah, all right. Well, it seems like kind of an extreme thing to say that they can't do any of those lessons, though, don't you think?
I think that would be too fast to ban everything, but I think that at least is a sign to tell those agent or the tutorial industry that we're gonna do something from government, and probably as a parent and as a class owner, you should be aware of that. I think they would just give them some spare time to prepare rather than just go straight away.
All right, all right. So you think these out of school sessions aren't going to be banned, they're just going to be more restricted than they were before?
Yes.
Maybe we'll see something like they're not allowed to do it after a certain time of day, something like that.
I think probably the policy of having these new policy for controlling after school tutorial is just trying to give some break for the children, because the school is already so hard for them. And now I think they should only attend one or two, probably one subject is enough, not too many of them. But at least for now, for Chinese kids, they are just simply attending too many after school classes.
Yeah. All right. Hey, let's move on to the next one. So this is one of the ones that I'm interested in the most. This is about Baidu's new landing page requirements. Now,
Yeah.
on my screen here, I'm not looking at an article about it. I'm just looking at a sample landing page, and it's a landing page that is not on a separate website. Like normally, when you're running paid search ads, you would direct the searcher to click on the ad and then go to your own website that you've prepared. But now Baidu has these other ones, and they're like you have to use their tool, and you put it on the subdomain isite.baidu.com, and then I guess they have a couple different templates, and then you choose from a template and you fill in your information and get it all up there, and it creates a simple kind of a landing page. Maybe it looks better than the average Chinese landing page. I don't know. This one I'm looking at right now doesn't look that great. Some of the images look kind of squished, kind of funky. But overall, the landing page is clean enough that I can see what's going on, and I could be able to click through or give them my information so that they could call me back. So Phoebe's the expert on this, but Phoebe, have you used the landing page creation tool yet? Have you tested it out? Is it any good? Does it have good templates?
I just have tested this tool, but I didn't use this tool for our clients.
Okay.
I think it's just a fundamental tool. The landing page you show is a typical one, and it only have two templates for PC for
PC browser.
Yeah, for PC browser. And you can see we can add homepage and contact us page and about us page of a website, and you can only add these 3 pages in your website.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just a very fundamental tool.
Yeah. Okay. Very basic.
Yeah.
Why do you think that they want people to use this tool?
I think first they want to promote their tool Jimuyu, and in this year's 315 report, some industry have too much fake advertisement, so they want to control this phenomenon. So they want some industry use this tool to make their landing page more
professional.
More professional.
Okay.
Just a quick information that 3:15 evening is a quality inspection night.
Okay.
That happens every year. So I think we post podcast about that. So 3:15 evening is a ceremony that the Chinese government will undercover, go to certain company or industrial, then check everything behind, the secrets behind. And on that day, they found out a lot of companies are using fake information for online advertising. And that is why for now, we are using the new landing page system.
Okay. So which industries will have to use this? Is it going to be everybody or just some?
For now, we get the information from Baidu. It shows that every industry need to use this tool after a certain time. But they set different deadlines for different industries. And for now, we know sure is that the logistics transportation, such as moving home, and it's the example you show this industry. And medical care industry. This tool is for sure need to use this tool for now. Yeah. Other industry will, maybe they will use this after a certain time.
Right. Okay. So we should expect to use this for some of our campaigns, at least some of them, maybe more, maybe all of them. Is it only affecting new accounts that are coming on Baidu, or any accounts?
Any accounts, but maybe we can try to apply whitelist, and Baidu set a rule for this for some companies. If you meet some conditions, you can apply whitelist. Apply for whitelist, and you can decide. You can just don't use this tool. You can just use your website. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm wondering if this is going to be a good thing for us or not. I mean, maybe it's not so bad, because sometimes it's takes a while to get a website approved by Baidu, and this maybe the approval process will be faster. Maybe it'll be easier for us to use.
Yeah,
I mean, if I'm setting up a WordPress website or a landing page on my own, it's easy to use. But if we're doing work for a client, like you're talking about the moving industry, I think we had a client in this industry where it took them like 3 months to set up their website and stuff, right?
Yes.
So if it's in our hands, like as the marketing team, if it is in our hands and we can set up one of these pages in a day, this could be a good thing for us, actually.
Yes.
Any other tips you have?
No, that's it.
I think that's everything we know so far. So just pay attention to it, because Baidu is still going to probably change the policy on these new landing pages, and the deadline for different industry could be released sooner or later.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, Phoebe, that's your part as a search expert. You can go now and get back to your work if you want to.
Thank you, Phoebe. Thank you for joining me. Thank you.
All right, Lawrence, next one here. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin mining again from this Pan Daily. Yeah, Bitcoin, Ether. That's what I'm talking about lately. Bitcoin, Ether. Now, this article from pandaily.com says that the carbon emissions resulting from China's domestic Bitcoin mining operations may reach 130.5 million metric tons by 2024. Okay, I'm not good with numbers, so I don't know what that means, but it says that's surpassing the total of countries, including the Czech Republic and Qatar. So that really sounds like a lot when you put it in perspective there. They say that such a level of greenhouse gas production would place the cryptocurrency mines in the top 10 of China's domestic industrial sectors. And also that China represents the world's largest producer of Bitcoins by a significant margin, claiming almost 2/3 of the global distribution as of April 2020. Well, that's a year ago. I heard from other news that actually China's take of the Bitcoin mining market has decreased a bit, but still quite a bit. And China is just trying to make the environment better. They have all sorts of regulations and subsidies coming out to do that. And the other things that I'm going to be talking about today are also, well, a couple of the other ones are also related to the environment. I think it's a really big deal. They read this report and they gave some suggestions about what to do. And basically what the suggestions said is that they should make it profitable to operate these facilities with renewable energy. So if they're doing the Bitcoin mining with renewable energy, it'll be okay for the environment overall, and it won't hurt China's and other countries' efforts to decrease the carbon footprint of Bitcoin mining.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess some of these places are still running on coal and such. So that's not really good for anybody.
Do you remember that a few weeks ago we were discussing the Chinese government is banning the Inner Mongolia mining pool because it's forbidden for people to keep mining in Inner Mongolia, and that just take like 7% of global mining pool. I think the reason is still the same, applied to the same topic a few weeks we discussed, is the Chinese government is really trying to contain the Bitcoin. As we know that Bitcoin, all those cryptocurrency has gone up a lot. And that for sure is because a lot of people are investing, and that just directly goes to a lot of energy wasted. And based on this report, they're claiming, okay, as long as you're using the renewable energy, but we know that there are limited renewable energy in China. So it's really hard. Yeah.
Unlimited renewable energy?
No, limited, not unlimited.
Okay.
Limited. Because you can only go to certain area to get like solar energy or wind energy, and that is limited. You can't really probably to plug into the city and then just keep wasting the energy. Probably you'll be fined, or there are policy for that, I believe. So I would still think that this is actually a good option for China, because we can tell from the new energy vehicles, the carbon emission, everything the Chinese government has been done for the past year or two is trying to make sure they can reach the goal for the carbon emission by 2024, because that is the 5-year project they want to achieve.
Okay, right. Let's move right on to our next one about the environment. I have 3 things about the environment here today. This article, also from pandaily.com, is talking about Tesla, and they said that Tesla delivered 185,000 vehicles worldwide in the first 3 months of this year, beating Wall Street's $172,000 forecast. It's not clear exactly how much of that was the Chinese market, but I think it was about 40% of the total for Tesla by next year, right? So the Chinese market would represent 40% of Tesla's total sales next year. That's sure a lot. That's a lot. Now, what's the government going to do? What do you think?
I think one thing reminds me of Tesla. The reason that Tesla could get a manufacturer in Shanghai is they signed a contract with the Shanghai government to promise they would deliver a certain amount of cars to the consumers. And if they cannot reach that goal, they will just leave China. They would probably leave Shanghai, and they will pay huge amount of taxes to Shanghai government. Yes, there is the contract. That is why, because the Shanghai government gave Tesla a good location for the manufacturers, and they even give subsidies for Teslas just to make sure that Tesla could build up their manufacture in China. And in return, the Tesla need to agree that they need to sell a certain amount of vehicles to Chinese consumers. If they couldn't reach the goal, you'll be fined. You will leave these places. You will no longer enjoy the subsidies. You just pay back all your subsidies. That's just a lot of them.
Okay, cool. This is what you learned, actually. This is
yes.
What you're sure of? Oh, okay. Because I was asking you for your guess first without reading the rest of the article, but you already know this stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is that document, but I'm just can't really get the number for how many cars exactly for Tesla to sold. But I'm very sure that there is a document Tesla signed with Chinese government. No, Shanghai government.
Okay. Well, all I knew that the Chinese government was helping out with subsidies and such to promote the electric vehicles. I guess I could have assumed that there were performance issues tied to those subsidies.
Yeah, and one thing that I realized on electrical vehicles is that Tesla has decreased their price for Model 3. You know, they have a lot of models like Model 3, Model X, and Model Y. They decreased the price for Model 3, I think 4 or 5 times from 2020 to 2021 right now. They decrease every time for like 10,000 each time, and that's just a lot of prices for consumers. And that all of that money actually is a subsidies the Chinese government paid. So it's a cheaper price, and Tesla is still a symbol of new energy vehicles, and people like the brand, people like the car. So.
All right, cool. Let's move on to the next one. Last one about the environment stuff. You know, I was reading about the plastic ban in China and how that was going. And I felt like this article about bubble tea straws was interesting. From PRI.org, it says that most restaurants and cafes in China were using conventional polypropylene straws before the ban. And they made the switch to paper straws en masse. And it turns out that a lot of bubble tea fans are not really happy with paper straws. I wouldn't be happy with them either. And I am a bubble tea fan. And my wife is a crazy, crazy fan of bubble tea. But paper straws, they get all mushy, and then, you know, it's not very
just
good.
After 2 hours.
Just what?
Just like if you put your straw in there for like 2 hours.
2 hours? No, they get soggy way sooner than that, don't they? The ones I tried did.
I think normally it got soggy probably after 1 hour, and then it just got very terrible after probably 90 minutes.
Okay.
And probably you couldn't even use it after just 2 hours.
Okay. Well, the article says that bubble tea chains have been offering another straw option too, made from PLA, which is a plant-based bioplastic, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a little bit better. It's not
Mm-hmm.
quite as nice as plastic, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that the trend in China is that they're trying to get rid of single-use plastics in a lot of places, and
Yes.
it seems like some of the bigger chains and bigger companies have already started to get off of plastics,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe not the smaller businesses. Um, what do you see just in day-to-day life there in Nanjing lately, Lawrence? Do you see less plastic, or is there still just plastic everywhere?
First of all, for now, I can barely see the plastic straw.
Hmm.
Um, they're from KFC, McDonald's, even Starbucks, or
Mm-hmm.
even the milk tea we bought from takeaway shop. We don't really see a plastic straw.
Okay.
However, I still see some straws in a little tiny store in the corner of the street, and that is a place where
Hmm.
I really, ask those owners to forbidden of using the plastic straw, and there's no government in right there. I
Okay.
mean, the government just can't reach there. So the problem is, majority of people knows that they should stop using the plastic straw or plastic bags,
Mm-hmm.
but still, daily life, I believe, and I saw that on supermarket, a lot of people are still using plastic bags. So I think that still takes time for people to get rid of plastic bags.
Yeah, plastic bags are still all over the place.
Yes, all over the place.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's going to take some time. There's some opportunity here. I always mention it, but there's opportunity here to sell the kind of technologies or products that are going to help China improve the environment there. And
Mm.
before our podcast here, I did a little bit of research. I was just looking around for these different kinds of straws in English. I was looking at people that produced um, compostable ones, or I looked for the PLA or bioplastic or different keywords, and I found a bunch of different English websites that had these things,
Mhm.
different brands that make them, and none of them were doing anything in Chinese.
Mhm.
It seems like they're leaving that market all up to Chinese companies. Um, like this guy too in the article here, they had this guy known as King of Straws,
Mhm.
and he's selling these um, environmentally friendly straws, and he looks pretty darn happy. He's got a ton of business there, yet foreign companies don't seem to be jumping in, as far as I know. I didn't do a thorough research on this, but just
Mhm.
in general, I think that we don't get a lot of companies, we don't get a lot of environmentally friendly foreign companies contacting us, and we get technology companies and B2B oriented companies from all around the world, all different industries contacting us. And I'm really
Yeah,
curious why the ones that are doing environmentally friendly things are not jumping in. I don't know. Maybe a listener can tell me.
probably they're running out of the budget.
Okay, maybe. Okay, now these last two things here are just kind of funny.
Mhm.
Now, one of them is about Xiaomi and their new logo. We
Mhm.
talked about this last week, and
Yeah.
they have this new logo that looks almost exactly like their old logo, but
Mhm.
it has rounded corners on it.
Yeah.
And they spent a bunch of money to get this logo designed for them.
Uh-huh.
So, what did you want to say about this, Lawrence? What's new?
Okay, so the new thing is not about logo, is the CEO Lei Jun
Mm-hmm.
actually officially responses the logo change in a TV show. And he said that it would be impossible for a company like Xiaomi to change their logo so dramatically because the impression has been made between consumers.
Yeah.
And he believes that the guy who designed the new logo is really nice. He really spent the good money, and he think the new logo looks so dynamic and so young, so passionate,
Mm-hmm.
and he likes the logo. He think that is just worth of money.
All right. Oh, that makes sense. It's a good business decision, I guess, because sometimes when you work with a consultant or an expert of any type, that expert feels a lot of pressure to change things, to show their value.
Yeah.
But maybe this expert actually realized that really not much needed to be changed, and he gave Xiaomi the advice on what to do, and the advice is simply round your corners on your logo.
Yes. I think that's just because, there is a scenario where if you are a famous brand, you work with another famous brand, you could be more famous. Think about the fashion industry. When we have Nikes, Nike is not so famous. It's very famous, but if the Nike probably work with Louis Vuitton and they gotta cooperate new brand or new shoes or whatever, just new clothes, and that clothes could be super expensive. But the design, I mean, there's not much changed. All they did is just add the logo in there, said this is from Louis Vuitton and Nike together.
Yeah.
So I think the reason they spent $2 million is because the designer itself are very famous, and then people were just curious why Xiaomi spent 2 million on our logos. Okay, say okay, now we got some impressions on that.
All right, now on to the last item about China's comeback king. Now, this guy, I think you told me about him first, Lawrence.
Yes.
Xinba, is that how I say his name?
Yes, that's the correct.
Xinba. Okay, so he is this big live streamer in China, and live streaming people in China, that usually means that they are e-commerce oriented and they're selling stuff online. He got in trouble a few months back because he was selling these fake birds' nests. I don't know if he realized they were fake or not, but it turned out they were fake, and he got a fine, and then he wasn't allowed to stream for 2 months. And recently he came back, and this article from scmp.com says China's disgraced king of live streaming sales made a big comeback on Saturday when he sold more than US 300 million worth of goods in a single show lasting 12 hours, a record for streaming platform Kuaishou.
Yes.
300 million in 12 hours. That's a lot of money. That's pretty good.
That's a lot of money, yes.
Yeah. How much money do we make on our live streams, Lawrence?
Probably less than a cup of Coke.
Direct sales, absolutely zero. But clients that contact us and we do business with, well, yeah, there are some. There are some. So that's good. Mostly, though, we're just trying to help educate some people. Anyways, 300 million, 12 hours, that's a lot. And they said it's a record for streaming platform Kuaishou. For people that don't know, Kuaishou is it's mostly a short video platform. It's kind of like Douyin, but you could do
TikTok?
live streaming. You could, kind of like TikTok. You could do live streaming on there. You could do some other stuff on there, and it's a pretty big deal, actually. The article didn't say what he was selling in that time. I imagine it's not really anything that amazing or special if you decided not to mention it.
I think I read an article about that. They didn't mention exactly what he sold, but it claims he sold clothes, lipsticks, cosmetics, food, and basically everything.
Right. Yeah. It does say shampoo and smartphones too, but it's just saying those as examples that he actually sold a diverse range of items. You ever buy anything from him?
Actually, I think probably he will get banned sooner or later. Just probably gonna happen in a few weeks.
Yeah.
One thing that happens to him is that he was trying to do the live just probably 2 days ago or even yesterday, and he asked a security to block the road for his live.
Okay.
And that is actually illegal, and that has been reported by Chinese biggest and most official paper, which is Renmin Ribao. Normally, if you see this journal article criticize a certain person, and you will no longer see them for forever. So, because I mean, before that he was only selling the fake product. He claimed that he doesn't know, but now he blocked the road for his own live show. That is just
Yeah.
illegal. That's just not appropriate.
Okay. Why did he block a road though? Why would he need, like he's inside a building somewhere just doing a stream. Why would he need the road blocked? I don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, he just like walking on street, and probably he's going to do a live show on street, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, he just asked his security to block the road for entrance, and no one can walk in, and
Oh,
that
yeah. Yeah, geez, why'd he do that? Private security blocking a public road in China? That's going to get you in trouble.
yes, think about that. You are actually driving home, and someone just jump in and say, "Hey, Tate, you cannot go this way. You would just go a further way, and because now we're doing a live show." And think about that. I mean, you're not like any official government.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing something right. I don't get any benefit from that, and you just block my road.
All right. Okay. So your prediction is he's going to have some more trouble soon. We'll see what happens and follow up on this.
Yep.
All right, folks, that is it for today. Next week, I'm going to have Echo visit again. Echo runs Sinotrip, a peer-to-peer platform for tour guides and trippers around the world, traveling around the world, and starting to get more sales on there recently because the travel industry is heating up again. So she will join us next week instead of Lawrence. And just to all you listeners, I appreciate you listening. Glad you're here. Glad Du Chung and my daughter are here at the beginning of the stream to remind me that my sound wasn't working. If you have any questions or comments or anything you want us to cover, just let us know. You can contact us through a whole bunch of different social media or through our website or anything. Thanks, and I'll see you later.
See you. Bye bye.